Well, dare to be different. Pink hair and buy palladium besides silver if you got some bucks to do so. I listened to a little interview here from Mark Farber recently. I'll go over that, but it looks like the GDP, gross domestic product, has went down a little bit for the fourth quarter of 2012. And so, some of the conventional major media is expecting, well, that means we're going to have a good first quarter. But actually, some of the reason it went down was because the military spending was down quite a bit. Believe it or not, it dropped like a rock. It's actually down. The most military spending is actually down the most percentage drop-wise, in way over a decade. And that's because of a lot of people, deployments finishing up and that type of stuff, even though there's wars going on as we speak. And speaking of wars, I want to point out this one thing. This is probably going to be the real thing that's going to be coming up because the economies are looking bad throughout the world, in Europe, Japan, everywhere. China's seeing slowdowns despite their BS numbers that they put out for the fourth quarter. The U.S. is seeing slowdowns in manufacturing. Currencies wars. This is the word you're probably going to see. I know Lindsey Williams mentioned this, but hey, it's simple logic. I mean, nothing like predicting the future like Karnak. It's simple logic. When you have a climate of bad industry going on and bad economies like record unemployment in Spain and Greece, currency wars means countries are trying to weaken their currencies to boost exports. Now, we just seen this in Japan. The Liberal Democratic Party was elected, and they're doing super QE, and it's an aggressive move to boost exports. So, hey, that's the thing that's going to happen. So, currency wars are going to be bullish for gold because they're devaluing the currencies everywhere. So, in silver, it's like a crazy animal. Like if the industry goes up, there's more demand for it. But right now, there's a lot of investment demand for silver. So, but nobody talks about palladium. It's almost like pink hair. It could be a smart investment. I don't know. I don't know if it's a good example, but I don't like actually getting into some of the boring statistics out there because they're the same old bullshit. So I just throw my own 2 cents and my own angle in on things. Palladium statistics are tough to come by. I found that supply produced in a year, including recycled, it hasn't hit 9 million ounces yet. But it's been going up every year. But the demand is actually exceeding supply. But what's keeping the price down with palladium is that the Russians keep dumping on the market. And we really don't know what the hell they got because rumor mongers said they were getting low back in 2010. But who the hell knows really what they got? It's a closely guarded secret. But I just want to tell you about palladium a little bit too because it's almost like pink hair. It could be a cool thing. Everybody goes with blonde like silver, but pink could be cool too, right? A little bit different, so it's one way of looking at it. But it is a smart investment for many other reasons. There's a lot of uses out there for the future, especially in hydrogen production and that type of stuff. But that's just one way to think of it. Silver's like the blonde, palladium's like the pink. Okay, that's one way to look at it. And that's just the way I do my silver updates, because how much can you talk about this bullshit? And I just want people to stick with it, okay? Because it's like when everybody gets all excited, the sky is falling or something like that, then you ought to be thinking about selling some. That's what Mark Farber's not going to sell any gold because he thinks there might be a catastrophic collapse. And you know what? That's why I would only, if I try to sell some, it's going to be some, the adjective some, at the peaks, not all, some. Because I have this thing in my back of my mind that there might be a catastrophic collapse at some point in time, too. Mark Farber is over 25% invested in physical gold. So he talks about, this was off the news unit, right? Said stocks are overbought, gold is a good buy, and also mining shares. Mining shares are a good buy, I know some people like into the silver advisors, or whatever the hell you want to call them, say mining shares are no good. You can get more gains off the mining shares. And the reason I say that, it's smart because Merrick Sprott's into the mining shares. He's probably been killed for the last year, but he'll make up on it. He'll make out like a fat rat. Believe me, he will. He will. But like anything, you allocate so much to something, and you got to have like the patient hold. And when it gets like fever pitch and everything's going up, you got to be, strong enough to sell it too. Now, silver and gold are going to be a sell at one point in time, but it's probably going to take years before that's going to be a sell. It's not going to be a 50-year hold, a 20-year hold. It might be a good 5-year hold, though. Who knows? It might be that far off into the future. It's 2013, 2017 to 2018 might be the peak for the commodities, and World War III might be going by then. Who knows, man? Really, who the hell knows? So, we'll be radioactive and we'll be rich at the same time. So how's that? Anyway, Mark Farber is talking about gold. Is still a good buy. And the old girl who was interviewing him, she doesn't have any gold except the stuff around her neck. But she's got a golden voice, he says. So I actually say she ought to be on Facebook and Twitter, too, advertising her gold. Anyway, you can get my drift on that. But anyway, as far as, Mark Farber talking about the market correction, he says it can go up further. It can go up further. There might be a mini correction in February, and then it goes up, and then a major 40% correction maybe in August, or it could just be a 20%. He's not, he's not God, all-knowing, all-seeing, but this guy's been more correct than anybody around. And just remember, he keeps buying gold every month. So, he doesn't know what the price is going to do in the short term, but he's got it like he thinks there's going to be a catastrophic collapse. And I have to say that because currency wars is the thing that's going to be coming up, just like Lindsey Williams talked about. But, I don't need Lindsey Williams to tell me this because it's like, this is like Principles 101. It's nothing really earth-shattering news. Currency wars means countries are trying to weaken their currencies to boost exports because the economies are looking crappy everywhere in the world, so everybody wants to sell to the other guy, right? So we weaken our currency. So that's one thing that's going to be very bullish for the metals. And, I just want to say chill out, man. I'd still say riding a bicycle is one of your freaking most economic cost strategy savings, whatever you want to call that, things you could buy besides silver. And, it doesn't have to be nothing fancy. You could be riding around the neighborhood like this type of deal. Your silver coins aren't going to just jump up and help you transport yourself from one place to the other unless you spend them. This thing has continuing use. So it's one of my recommendations on it. And also it's an exercise machine at the same time. Women looking to look better and lose weight and stuff like that don't need to join a gym. You just buy a bicycle and you're all set for life, as long as you know how to fix the chain and all that wonderful stuff. But just do remember that Mark Farber's still buying gold. Also, my personal note is, think about palladium a little bit. It's almost like the pink hair versus the blonde hair. Everybody's attracted to the blonde. Boy, to piss some people off, but hey, whatever. It's true. Everybody's attracted to the blonde, which is silver, But hey, think outside the box a little bit, There's not too many genetic pink-haired people around there. There's not too many. It's a very rare breed. So that's just how rare palladium is. And so palladium, I think it's going to go more than gold. Mark Farber's buying more gold than gold. He's got so much money, he couldn't buy palladium. It would, if he tried to get it, the price, they'd be gouging him on the price. That's how much money he's got. If you try to, 8 million, if you got, I don't know what's really available for investment, but, every year you got less than 5% of the production available for investment, so way less than 500,000 ounces. I don't know what's available for investment all throughout the world, but it's not much. It's not much. So, if you threw $1 billion into investing in palladium, you probably got more than everything that's available, providing the price stayed the same. But if somebody did that, the price would go through the roof, and they gouge them. So it's too, if silver's too small of a market for big people to move into, that's way more acutely true of palladium. So I'm going to say this for right now, even though the price moved up a lot, and people can kill me if I say to buy it and it goes down to 650 or 620. I don't know. That's possible. It is. I don't know about 400 or some crazy shit like that, but that's possible. But if you buy it, just think of it as a long-term hold. I don't think you can lose on that. I think palladium is actually going to sell is going to protect the average Joe because the big guys are too big to move into it. So Just want to add that on here with the silver channel, because just think of Palladium as the pink hair and the silver as the blonde, and think outside the box a little bit. And it's kind of funny that the one Mark Farber was interviewing, she's throwing out all these facts and stuff. She doesn't have any gold except gold earrings and a gold necklace, and that's typical. Typical, What can I say, right? But anyway, she could always advertise on Twitter and Facebook and make up for it. That's what happens. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.